we have these big firms, and you constantly see like big layoffs of American workers, and then you see maybe it's anecdotally, but like I don't have the statistics on hand, but I always hear, we have been replaced by lower wage tech workers from India. I mean, in Texas, it was a really big problem. They would call the congressman's office constantly and complain about this. We see it happen. I think Tesla just laid off a whole bunch of people, and now they're having more people come in.
Didn't Disney do the same thing?
Yes,
Disney had a problem with it.
That was a scandal. It was a famous case.
And so we're still seeing problems with this. So I don't think that opening the cap to allow more of that to happen seems like a good idea at all.
If this was really about low wages and replacing American workers, you would see more H1-B requests when companies are cutting and laying off jobs. In fact, you see the opposite. H1-B requests go up when employment is increasing in these fields. If you looked at during the recession, H1-B requests went way down. We didn't even have a lottery during that time. And again, it comes back up when the economy recovers and they're adding workers. So you see U.S. employment and immigrant employment go up together. Again, the idea that this is widespread and it's causing this unemployment is belied by the fact that you've doubled the number of software developers in 10 years. Even in the last 5 years, we've seen an increase of almost 70% in software development employment. There's been no increase in the unemployment rate among software developers. So yes, you can look at these different, Musk took over X, right, or Twitter, and he fired all these people who were doing useless DEI stuff and sensors and all this stuff. And okay, so that happened, but that doesn't mean that, and then those people got productive jobs elsewhere in the labor force, and that's a good thing. So you can't just look at, generically the company laid off some people and they hired some other people. That doesn't mean that there was replacement there.
Also, the real replacement I think is happening is on hiring people abroad, right? Like if you're going to really replace somebody, why would you bring them to the U.S., pay $15,000 for the sponsorship of an H1B on average between government fees and lawyers? That's what it costs for a large company. When you can just have a programming shop in India. It's a remote work, really.
Okay, so then, but the same thing. There's graphic designers everywhere. Why did Patrick Bet-David go through all those hoops to do that and pay that extra money for somebody to make his thumbnails just now? Why did he do that?
Maybe he really liked that person.
Yeah, it could be that they really like.
Or they really enjoy having someone tied to them and the conditions of the job that you have to, or the conditions of staying in the country that you have to have that job.
Wouldn't you be able to pay somebody less in India?
That happens. So we're in the era of streaming, and it's huge for Twitch streamers to just go to Fiverr.
Oh yeah.
And they pay $5 to get all the graphics for their channels. Like they'll pay some guy that's in Thailand or Vietnam, always foreign, and they'll say, "Hey, I want this. My podcast is about sports, so I need this theme, these colors." And it's cheap. It's dollars. So it's not a salary of a graphic designer.
That's right. So my main concern is when it becomes possible for really smart people to work from anywhere, why would they choose America, right? Because think about it, you can go to Dubai, there's zero income tax. It's safer than the United States.
Yep.
You have great infrastructure, great services. Yes, it's not a democracy. I understand. You're still going to want the people who want freedom in the United States. But what about the billionaires and the people who invest in the next big startup and the next innovation? They're going to want to go to other countries where they can do these things. So we should want the smart people as long as they want to be here.
Okay, but so this is what the MAGA base will say. At the risk of what? At the risk of losing our culture?
That's right.
At the risk of losing, all the traditions and things that we have here, and it's not about brown skin.
I didn't say brown skin. I just think we started this podcast off by saying that wasn't a factor. I do think it is an important factor.
Well, it's cultural. It's not just.
Yeah, it's cultural.
Cohesion.
It's cultural and ethnic, and it's more than, and I think that those people, it's not going to be easy to please them. I agree with that. But I think they are a minority. They're definitely a minority of the country. I think that the America First market conservatives like Daniel are a majority of the Republican Party. They want to see economic growth. They want to see the United States be the strongest and most economically prosperous country in the world. And if you look at the research that's been done on this, the H-1B restrictions are encouraging offshoring. to other countries. And you're reducing investment in the United States. You're reducing the number of major companies who are created here and built here. You're increasing the amount of competitors who are getting startups in China and India and Canada. And that's a bad thing for the United States.
But the culture part is important.
We should want the United States to be the most the
David,
hub of innovation.
We're not an economic zone.
Yeah.
We're a country.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.